What is going on, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to another Sports Talk podcast, episode number 4. And boy, oh boy, have we had a bunch of stuff happen over the last week in sports. Some good things for teams, some not so good things for teams. But we will talk about it. Uh, I am going to look over it now and again because I do have, just some talking points, over here. But let's start with basketball with the NBA. We got the NBA Cup going on, and how many people really care about it? I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm not trying to say anything bad about it. But what I will say is that I don't. I mean, I don't see. I don't know. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why. I don't understand. Hey, Johnny, what's happening? How are you? Do you not hear? Can you hear?
There you go. You had the eternal spin going.
Oh, sorry. How's everything going?
Good. Yourself?
Good. I was just talking about some NBA stuff about this NBA Cup and stuff, and I just wonder, how many more years does this have to go on? I just not sure how much the fans as a whole really care about it. You know, how many franchises in reality are going to be super excited that they won the in-season tournament? Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's like, all right, hey, we'll give teams, we'll give every team at least one opportunity to try and get something because at the end of the season, some teams you're not gonna. Hey, Larkin,
So logging?
how's it going? So that I'm not really necessarily, I don't get it. I'm not, again, I'm not, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I just don't see what it does for the NBA. You know what I'm saying? From
Right.
that type of standpoint. I'm not, it's good. Players have something to play for in what I guess some people would think are meaningless games for stuff. But at the end of the day, it's the same type of thing. Once you get into this tournament, you're done, you move on. All right, we had our shot. Now, we sucked before. We're still gonna suck.
We still suck, yes.
Stuff like that. Um, but
So what
couldn't make the show last night. Sorry about that and everything. But
it's all good. So I gotta ask you, what do you think of the Alonzo deal with Thor?
you know what? We're gonna get there. I need some time. We're gonna get there. We'll get there before the show goes off. We're talking about the Michigan thing also. I just want to talk about some NFL stuff. I don't know if you guys talked about it yesterday, but what about this whole Phillip Rivers?
We did a little bit.
Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, hasn't played, I think they said, since the COVID season.
I think so, yeah.
And he is in line to start. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I do not root for any player to get injured. Like, I won't sit here and go, man, I hope this player breaks a leg or blows out his arm if he's a pitcher. I don't hope for any of that. But as a Jets fan, I hate that Daniel Jones got hurt because his story was, what was really good, kind of like a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
But as a Jets fan, that first round pick this year, and then especially that first round pick next year, those little picks are looking a lot better for us. Again, I'm sorry, that Daniel Jones got hurt, But the Jets fan in me is,
Right.
not happy, but it's not like, oh, boo hoo hoo. I mean, they have a worse record. That means that draft pick is worth a lot more to us.
Right.
Gives us more ammunition and stuff like that. Yeah, where is Josh Dobbs when you need him?
I mean, we were talking about it last night, and it's like maybe this is Philip Rivers comes out and just pulls off the miracle. Just comes out really good. But obviously, I don't think I think he might not do too bad.
Yeah,
He's not going to be what he was.
Yeah, I mean, I think in reality, like anything's possible. I mean, you never can tell. It is the NFL, right? And look, they make sure that the quarterbacks get protected. He has Jonathan Taylor. Now I know Jonathan Taylor has kind of not been the same, on a week-to-week basis and everything. But depending on who you're playing, I mean, you turn around, you got one of the better running backs in the league that you can hand the ball to. Well, that's not going to really help them because they go up against Seattle.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's super interesting. I'm happy for the guy. Hey, man, if somebody, why would you not? Why would you not single cover the wide receivers, put everybody else in the damn box, and just go ahead and go all out and just blitz the crap out of them, And then so I saw that Daniels went back out.
Yep.
To the same shoulder.
Yeah, it's the same elbow.
Elbow.
He didn't do any damage to it, but he's going to be out this week. I personally say sit him the rest of the season. Let him practice. He gets reps practicing that way, and just let Mariota finish out the season.
Yeah, I agree from a standpoint of I know it's his non-throwing arm, but you put him out there and he misses and he gets injured. Right now, he's only missing game time, right? He's not missing practice. He's not missing the reps. He's not really missing being with the guys. Right. You go ahead and put him out there, and his elbow gets even worse. Something bad happens, and he has to undergo surgery and all kind of stuff. Then he's kind of away from the team a little bit. To your point of, hey, not saying that. I'm not saying that Mariota is close to him, but Mariota is by far one of the better backups that you have in the league. Yeah. You have a guy who has been a starter before. You have a guy who knows how to play winning football. Played it in college. He has played winning football in the pros. So I think that's your thing. Is he a downgrade? Sure. But he's an upgrade versus a hurt Daniels. Like they're both healthy. Yeah. If they're both healthy, it's a moot point. When you have a guy who's banged up and that's your franchise guy. That guy right over there, that's our franchise guy. That guy's the backup. Sorry, you're gonna go ahead and go in and we'll see what happens.
I mean, Mariota isn't known for the explosive plays like Daniels is, but he can still move.
Yeah.
He's still got an arm on him. So, I mean, like I said, with a healthy receiving core that we got back, I mean, just play Mariota the rest of the year and look forward to next year.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. Shut him down. You got the Eagles twice.
We don't need another RG3 issue.
Well, and you got to think about it from a standpoint of like this. We know for the most part, football players, they don't want to necessarily, I don't mean in today's day and age, maybe in the past, completely different. In today's day and age, football players don't want to hurt each other.
No.
But that doesn't mean that if they know you are hurt, they're not going to go ahead and try and hit you a little harder, or they're not going to take it easy on you.
Right.
And to me, when you put him out there, hey, he scrambles and he throws his arm out, to kind of try and block someone. Hey,
and that's where it's like,
You know, it's
And
like he
especially
tries to do
mobile
a
quarterback, they're going to try to hit even harder.
right, and then he's and the guy doesn't necessarily he hasn't necessarily on purpose go, but you know what, hey, if my shoulder happens to hit his elbow, it hits his elbow. If he stiff arms and stuff like that, so I mean, I just think it makes a lot more sense, to sit the guy than it does to go ahead and play the guy, in my opinion. Um, and Larkin mentioned the whole Michigan thing. Holy smokes!
Yeah.
I mean, what I haven't had a chance to read the story, but you go from immediately being fired with cause because you have an inappropriate relationship with a staffer to being arrested.
Was it? I think they said was she underage, I think, or something like that.
But how can she be on the staff if she's 17
Maybe as an intern.
from a high school? Hey, look, anything is possible. We make no judgments. We'll let the story play out as it is. But it's just like I was like, oh man, he was screwing around with one of the staffers. Yeah, and then I got working, so I saw that come across. I was like that. And then when I got back, from getting something to eat and everything, I was looking at ESPN and I'm like, arrested and handed over to the what the heck? So that'll be a story that's going to go ahead and be talked about for a little while here.
Yeah,
a little while here.
Malkin, I agree with you. That Chargers game was rough to watch with the quarterbacks getting hit as hard as they were. And Stafford, or was it not Stafford? Herbert. Even with the broken hand, it didn't even affect him.
Yeah, I mean, I give the guy credit. Had surgery a week ago. Showed up and played. Again, you look from that standpoint, non-throwing hand, so on and so forth. So you would think a guy could get in there. I mean, big difference when you look at hit with their team versus Washington, right? But when you're looking at it, I mean, the Chargers, they're still trying to go. They could, they're 2 games behind the Broncos, but they're not out of winning that division.
Right.
I don't know. Let's see. What do they have left? Let's see. For them, they got the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Texans, and the Broncos. So I mean, something goes ahead and falls. That's not an easy schedule.
No.
And then when you look at the,
I agree, Larkin.
True. And you look at I mean, Denver is not easy. They got the Pack. They have the Jaguars, who are playing pretty darn good football. They have the Chiefs, and then they have the Chargers. So I can understand why a Herbert would come back, because with 4 games, 1, 2, 3, with 4 games left, that division is not wrapped up by Denver.
Right.
So I can understand that and everything. Other football stuff, I mean, I don't know. There really isn't a heck of a whole lot of all the stuff, happening around there. I see that the Buccaneers are going to activate Mike Evans, which I think that helps them a bunch. Gives another weapon to Baker Mayfield, which I think is a good thing. Bucky Irving coming back, that helps them, from that standpoint. Also, so a little bit surprised at how Shedeur Sanders is doing. What do you think?
I'm sorry. I was looking at something. I'm sorry.
Shedeur Sanders, with how he's playing,
he's going to have to show a lot more before I think he's going to be one of those standout quarterbacks.
They're in a tough spot. He has 4 games left, so he'll probably finish out. I don't know where they will finish as far as at the end of the year. But when you when you look at it right now, I mean, Cleveland, where the hell are they? They're 3-10. The Jets are 3-10. The Cleveland's been eliminated from the playoffs. From a quarterback perspective, how much does he have to show you to, depending on where you are, pass up on Mendoza or pass up on what's the other guy's name? Moore, I think, the guy from Oregon.
I think at least for Browns fans, I would imagine he'd have to show up pretty good for the last games, like maybe win them out if they play him everyone.
Yeah,
really,
and then if you,
thinking, okay, this is a guy we can go with.
yeah, I think, and if he does that, then that puts them out of they don't really have a shot at one of those two guys,
right?
Titans would lock in. I mean, Raiders 100% for sure. I think the Raiders would pass on Mendoza and they would go for the guy out of Oregon. In my opinion, I think they would do that. Titans would be an interesting one. They just drafted Cam Ward. They're not a good team. Yeah. Are you willing to give up on Cam Ward? Already. What Cam Ward has shown you versus what, let's say, Mendoza has shown you. Has Cam Ward shown you anything to say, hey, let's go ahead and hey, pass on him, make him a backup quarterback, because at that point you might as well go ahead and trade him, because if you pick another quarterback with a high pick and you move him ahead of, let's say, like a Cam Ward for the Titans, you've basically killed Cam Ward's potential to grow, because everybody in NFL says, the backup quarterbacks get very little time with the first team. The third string guys get like no time. So, I don't know. It's that's
if the Jets don't go for one of those quarterbacks in the draft, you guys could always sign Kaepernick. I mean, he might help you out.
Yeah, I don't.
There was someone, I think it was Google, talking about his wife was arguing with the NFL. Why would you allow the Colts to sign a 44-year-old quarterback when Colin's still out here? It's because Kaepernick sucks.
Yeah, he's not that good.
And nobody wants him after what he did. They don't want that kind of drama.
Yeah, they don't want what he's going to bring, number one. Number two, he was, I mean, a proven veteran, a guy like Bill Bray. It's not like they're taking, I don't know. I don't even know who, like, they're not like taking Colt McCoy, right?
Yeah.
They're taking a guy who's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
He'd
probably do a lot better than Kaepernick too.
That's true. That's the thing. A lot of people, they forget that he was already riding the pine.
Right.
But people remember that Super Bowl and that one long run. They think, oh my gosh, he was, like, wow, man, he was,
yeah,
he's just like Lamar. Not really, but okay.
Yeah, no.
And the funny thing is like so being on the East Coast stuff, and when my girls were younger, they were both playing in softball tournaments and everything. So softball tournaments would be one-day tournaments on Saturday. So you'd get up early, go to the softball field, then you'd stay there all day long and everything. And when we come home and stuff, and just to go ahead and, unwind from a day of being on the ball field and stuff, I'd put on ESPN, and that's when I would watch my college football. So I was watching, Nevada and Boise, so I watched Kaepernick, in college and everything. And I thought he had some promise. But a lot of those guys, when they play at that level of college football, if you're the best athlete on the team, you're going to look way, way heads and above everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, you go to a smaller school and, and you're the most gifted player on that team, you're going to look like a star.
Yeah, exactly.
From that standpoint. And I think that's what happened with good old Colin Kaepernick, from that standpoint. So who knows? I mean, the whole Rivers thing, I think it's going to be interesting to see if he gets out there. They're going up against Seattle. I think it would be a major injustice to him if you threw him out there. Whether he deserves it or not is not the point. It's, dude, you just signed on Saturday. You went through a walkthrough, and you're going to be going against those guys.
Is he brought in as a starter or like a backup to their backup guy?
They said that from what I'm reading on ESPN, Rivers an option to start, Coates in wait and see mode. So they are saying right now he is an option to start.
Maybe they're seeing how he's doing in practice before they make that decision.
Well, I think they probably have to. But the scary part is, John, when you look at that team, if you look at the depth chart, you have Anthony Richardson IR, Daniel Jones IR.
Yeah, true.
You have Brett Ripien, Mark's either son or nephew, I think.
I want to say it's his son, but I'm not 100% sure.
And you have the kid from Notre Dame, Riley Leonard. So you literally have nobody. I mean, you have no experience, of anybody doing anything. And you're 8-5. You're at that, you're at that cusp. As of right now, they have Brett Rippon. Rippon is considered the backup, and then you have Philip Rivers. So, I mean, and I had heard that Riley was a little dinged up, but they're not showing anything on ESPN. But I mean, I don't know, man. You're in a tough spot. You're 8-5. You're one. Okay, Leonard is hurt. I know they don't have him marked as hurt, but I had heard he was hurt.
All right, so Brett Rippon is his nephew. I'm sorry.
Okay, so but you're one game out of first place.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's got to be hard. I mean, man, that's a tough one to go ahead and give up on. But again, you're playing Seattle. Maybe, maybe in a way, although it might not be the best thing to go ahead and have Philip Rivers start. Maybe he's the guy that even though he was sitting at home with his, I don't know, dozen kids, how many kids, 9 kids that he has, Philip, based off of experience, it's scary that he may still give you the best chance to win that game.
Yeah.
Think about it. A guy who was on his farm or hanging out with his kids on Friday, well, you sign on Saturday, and here you are 3 days later, 4 days later, going, you know what? That guy right there might give us the best shot to win. I just hope Tom Brady doesn't get any frigging ideas.
Good point.
His ass needs to stay home. Then we have baseball. So I know Chuck's not here, but I know every now and again Chuck is here. But the Chicago White Sox, they won the lottery and get the number 1 pick in the MLB draft. Huh? How you like that?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, no.
There's rumors that the kid from UCLA, the shortstop from UCLA, is kind of sort of starting to. He had at the end of last year, he had started to distance himself as potential number one pick. I think right now there are a bunch of people who look at him as a consensus number one. Uh, but then we had the free agent signings. The Mets lose two players. They lose a guy who was voted closer of the year, and then they lose, the homegrown, power hitting, first baseman. And people have asked me, my thoughts on the whole thing and everything. And to me, they're kind of linked together, but they're separate. Diaz obviously he did not want to be. Hold on a second. Royals moved up to number 6. Good for them. Good for them. They, more young talent to help the young talent they have. That'll be good. But the Edwin Diaz one, I was mad at first, then I wasn't mad, then I'm mad again, and I get irritated, and I get irritated towards the ownership, then I get irritated towards the player, and I think quite honestly I'm irritated at all three. And my reasoning is that, Diaz, for not having the guts to go back to the Mets with the Dodgers offer. When the Mets said to him, here's our offer. If somebody makes an offer to you, please come back to us and give us a shot. And he didn't do that. Now, he has every right to do that. There are some people that are saying that one of the reasons why he did that was because he got a little butthurt when the Mets signed Devin Williams. And they didn't call him and let him know. Which, technically, you're the guy that opted out of the contract. You, at that point, are not an employee any longer. So I'm not sure why you would get butthurt over them signing, Devin Williams. Especially when they basically had said that Williams was going to come in as the setup man. He wasn't going to come in as the closer. He was going to go back to kind of like when they had Josh Hader with the Brewers. He was going to be the 8th-inning guy. Diaz was going to be the 9th-inning guy. It would have made for an unbelievable bullpen, or at least an unbelievable 8th and 9th inning. You still had to get to the 6th and the 7th. But, hey, at least you had a chance. So I kind of blame him there. But then I also blame the Mets, because if you tell a player, hey, here's our offer, if you get a better offer, come back to us. Why the hell didn't you just make your best offer to begin with? If you wanted the guy back that much, you make the damn offer then. You don't let him go and seek other offers, because you don't know what they could go ahead and tell him. You don't know what promises they could make him, or so on and so forth. Now, don't get me wrong. It being the Dodgers is probably not a hard sell.
Right.
Hey, we're back-to-back World Series champs. Our bullpen was you come, our bullpen becomes better. Man, think about it. We may go for the 3-peat. So that's like, that's not a lot of hard selling, right? You know what I mean? That's like, somebody who's dying of thirst, and you have a bottle of water. You probably don't have to sell them on the bottle of water. They're going to want the bottle of water.
Right.
So from that one, I'm, like I said, I post the blame on all of them from that standpoint. The Pete Alonso thing, that is inexcusable by the Mets, especially when they made an offer for Kyle Schwarber. Now, I don't think they matched the Phillies' length of contract, but I believe they did match the average, the per year salary. I believe they did that.
I don't think Schwarber's worth what the Phillies gave him.
No, I don't think Schwarber is a $500 150 million guy. But I think the thing is, though, John, when you look at it from a standpoint, I don't know how healthy he is. I mean, maybe I'll see if I can go ahead and find some stuff on him. But the thing is this, like, he's just a hitter. I'm not saying his hitting maybe doesn't diminish, but he's just a hitter, right? It's not like you go, well, we got this guy and he plays right field or left field or he's our shortstop, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? So you worry about a guy being diminished, by that. The thing that gets me more than anything else is he's a 231 career hitter.
Yeah.
2 years ago, in 2023, he hit 197. Now, okay, he hit 47 home runs, but he struck out 215 times and hit 197.
Yeah.
He's 32 years old. So, again, I don't think it's, I think it's I don't necessarily know how good of a deal it is. But like I said, from my standpoint, when I look at it, he's a DH, so he shouldn't fall off, that much from that standpoint. The thing with Pete Alonso is that, hey, what's happening, Dami?
Brother Dom. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. The thing with Pete Alonso that bothered me is that when he got the offer from the Orioles, he went back to the Mets, and the Mets didn't do anything. They didn't even make any kind of counter offer. Not even saying, well, look, Pete, we don't want to go 5, but we'll go 4. Nothing. They didn't offer him any deal. And what bothers me about that is homegrown player. When the Coens took over, one of the things that they talked about was family. We're a family. We're a family this, we're a family that. Alex Cohen, she was looking after, the wives and girlfriends and, the children and making sure that, when they came to the stadium and so on and so forth. And you take a guy who's been a model citizen and you don't even make him an offer. Now, from what everybody's saying, David Stearns, the GM, has basically said that, he doesn't believe in long-term deals unless it's more of a, generational type player. And we know those don't come around very often. So I don't know what is going to happen. I mean, this team, the way it's constituted right now, is probably battling Washington for the bottom of the division. If Florida doesn't get rid of their pitching, the way the baseball team from Georgia is, not all those guys are going to be healthy. They're not all going to have crap seasons again. And you have the Phillies, who basically are bringing back their team, something like that. You're talking about a team that's very, very difficult to go ahead and get. And people are like, well, they got to sign Tucker. Tucker's looking for a big deal. And I don't know, but when you look up Kyle Tucker's stats, I hear a lot of people saying how he is a superstar and all this other kind of stuff. I don't see it, but people are saying he's another guy. He's one of these guys that wants like an 8 to 10 year deal. And I'm thinking, who's going to give it to him?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to be willing to take? You think someone's going to offer you 10 years, $250 million? I mean, you're going to be willing? You're going to be happy with $25 million a year?
Yeah.
Like, where does it have to be and stuff? But to Larkin's point, yeah, it's kind of odd that we haven't seen a lot of stuff go down. There are still some names out there, but nothing's happening with them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Bo's going to end up signing back with the Blue Jays. I can't see that not happening.
Yeah, I mean,
Not happened because Pete got the same deal that Schwarber did, 5-year, 150 million.
yeah.
And not, no, sorry.
Mike Yastrzemski signed a 2-year deal with the baseball team from Georgia.
Oh, there you go.
Gregory Soto signed a 1-year deal with Pittsburgh. Oh wow, Vaughn Grissom is on the move again. He's moving from Boston to Anaheim. Steven Matz is going to Tampa. Michael Soroka to the Diamondbacks. There is talk that supposedly the Mets and the Nationals have spoken about Mackenzie Gore.
I can say it's a possibility because looking at the mock draft, we get pick 11. We can't get a top 10 because we're a payer club.
A what?
A payer club is what they call it. They are a revenue sharing payer club, which prevents them from getting a top 10 selection. If you didn't have that rule in the lottery, we'd have number 2. But they're saying we're going to go after Liam Peterson from Florida. So if we're going to pick up another right-handed pitcher, maybe I'd like to see who we get from Mackenzie Gore. But
interesting that you guys got Henry Ford from the Mariners.
I don't know if I like that or not.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, who coming out of high school or college, whatever, coming into the draft, was supposed to be one of those guys, and he rose up pretty quick through Seattle's system. He's always been one of their higher ranked prospects, but Cal Riley just went ahead and exploded. And what are you going to do? You're not going to, it's going to be hard for you to go ahead and move Cal Riley out of being your everyday catcher. So it's not that bad. Yeah, Larkin, I would have rather have had him stay with the Royals. I I like the guy. I like the guy. I'm not, Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Hope all's well.
What's up, Anthony?
Cedric Mullins signed with the Tampa Bay. I don't know. It's going to be, they're still, like for the most part, the big names are out there. Cody Bellinger's out there. Flamber Valdez is out there. Kyle Tucker's out there. And it's, people are saying, don't worry, the Mets are working on something. The Mets are working on something. And it's like, okay, when? Like what are you waiting for? Like if you were going to go after Alex Bregman, let's say, what are you waiting for? Because the truth of the matter is every single time, like for instance, as soon as either Bellinger or Tucker signs, the value goes ahead and goes up for the other. Because now all of a sudden you're the top outfielder that's available. Yeah, I know. I saw that, man. Woo. Yeah. Fuck Diaz. Suarez is another one. Pete Fairbanks is out there. There's some decent pieces that are out there, But to me, like I don't understand what certain teams are waiting for. Now, for instance, the Red Sox and the Angels had talked to Pete Alonso. Now he's a first baseman, and Naylor went off, so I would say those might be the top 2 first basemen that were free agents. But now, okay, what does that do? Right, you have Bellinger who can go ahead and play first base, so now Bellinger is probably the top, even though he's been playing a lot more outfield over the last few years than he has been first base. He now becomes more valuable, right? And if you're Cody Bellinger and the Mets are going to offer you a 3-year contract, why are you going to take it? right?
Right.
You might as well wait. Might as well wait and try and get 4. You know, I just wonder what I wonder when you look at some of these guys that are out there. I mean, um, that have signed their deals, or these guys that are getting ready to sign probably more of these, more dollar centric deals. Um, what the if the potential for lockout, if that is causing any certain things to happen.
And 'cause I see Kyle Tucker. Uh, they're saying hypothetically a 10-year, $400 million contract, possibly with the Mets.
Yeah, I don't see how a 29-year-old Kyle Tucker, who's got coming off 2 injured seasons, um, not big dollar. His defense has started to go ahead and go south. How 10 years, 400 million for him, and you bring another lefty bat into the lineup? How that makes sense when you could have had you know like, you mean to tell me a guy who's 29 and is already starting to get hurt a lot?
Yeah.
But so you think a 10-year contract for that guy is okay, but you take a Pete Alonso who bitches if you take him out of a game, has basically played I think like every inning of every game for the last like 3 years. Guy does not like to go ahead and sit at all, but yet you say that a 5-year deal is a bad thing because at he's 31 right now. At age 34, he's gonna be walking around his house, step on his son or daughter's tricycle, and bash his head and forget how to play baseball. I don't understand how you think, well, that guy right there who doesn't get hurt, plays all the time, power hitting, right-handed protection behind your golden child in Juan Soto, he's not worth it because that contract may be too long. But then you think 10 years, 400 million for a guy who is starting to already start to get hurt each year. Yeah, that's the guy I want to go ahead. And people are calling him a superstar, and I don't see where he is a superstar.
No.
I wish Sean was here so he could go ahead and explain, the Astro fan, so he could explain how Kyle Tucker is a superstar.
Yeah. You guys are looking to move David Peterson, I see.
They're looking to move David. Yeah, there's it's funny. They talk about one of the things that they said David Stearns wanted to do was break up the core. That this core hasn't won. But it's funny. A big part of this core is Mr. Smiley, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor, who's been there 5 years now.
Yeah.
Haven't won a damn thing with him. Why should he be safe on the team?
Right.
Why should he not have the possibility of going ahead and getting, traded?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I want to see it, but
if you're breaking up the core group, there you go.
If you're breaking up the core and your goal is to build around Juan Soto, why do you keep a 31-year-old shortstop around?
Yeah. I know we're looking to move Gore and possibly Abrams, from what I'm reading. But we want a high price tag for Gore, I guess.
Why Abrams? Is he just falling out?
I think it's just he hasn't really, come up to what they expected of him. But I'm like, he's still young. I'd still say keep him. If you want to get rid of Gore, I can understand it. He hasn't really produced a whole lot for us.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand the thing about, this is where again, you don't understand stuff. The Mets already have a Mackenzie Gore type pitcher in David Peterson.
But if they're looking to get trade Peterson, they're going to need somebody to replace him.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But if you have a guy like Peterson and you have a guy like Gore, and they are somewhat equal to each other,
what's the point?
What do you do?
Yeah,
you're not getting better.
You're staying the same.
I mean, now you look at, there was things in the offseason saying, hey, well, the Mets had a couple of holes they had to fix, center field, third base potentially, even though they like Beatty and everything, and then, left field, everybody's like, Nimmo's going to be okay. Well, we got the young kid for center field, so on and so forth. And then what do? You trade your starting left fielder for a second baseman, a 35-year-old second baseman who has 3 years left on his contract. But again, you're okay with that because that contract's not going to go bad. No. Have you seen what Marcus Semien did last year compared to what Brandon Nimmo did last year? Trending would say that even if Nimmo starts to come down, he's probably not going to come down to where Semien was, right?
Right.
So now that sounds like a good deal. You got to say, hey, Nimmo had 5 years left on his contract. Semien has 3 years, so I gained 2 years. But one of your top prospects is really a second baseman.
Right.
Well, now you just went ahead and blocked him. That guy's blocked, right? So now you need a left fielder. You still need a center fielder. You let your first baseman go. Now you need a first baseman. And you still need starting pitching. But they were talking what the hell is his name? One of the Japanese guys, Akamoto, I think his name is, that he may be a possibility for the Mets. I don't know. I just, baseball is interesting.
Yeah, look at some of these that are free agents.
And where's
still out there?
There are 4 big names still out there when you figure Bellinger, Tucker, Bregman, and Valdez. Then you have to add in, Suarez there as locker. I mean, there's 5 guys. I mean, again, not necessarily just the Mets, but if you're any team, like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Because you do realize, okay, maybe not Bregman, maybe not Suarez. But with Tucker and Bellinger, once, if Bellinger signs first and he gets a bigger deal than what is expected, with the way people are talking about Tucker, it's going to drive his price up.
Yeah.
Murakami. Okay, yeah, Murakami. That's the guy. I don't know. I thought there was some other guy, Okamoto. I don't know. Or is it Murakari Okamoto? Maybe that's his name. There's a possibility for him. There's another pitcher from Japan who wants to come over to the States, and he does not want to play for the Dodgers. He wants to go ahead. He's like, I would love to come there and take the Dodgers down. But I just wonder how much, some of these guys that, if you're an owner and you're thinking, man, 2026, then we can have a lockout. It could be a prolonged lockout. Do I want to go ahead and invest, this much money?
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, and the funny thing, you look at it is Bellinger's 30. Tucker is 31. If I remember correctly, I think Bregman's 31.
I think so.
Yeah, Bregman was born in 94. Actually, Bregman was born in March of 94, so he's going to be 32 before the season starts. So what are teams waiting for? Like, where are these deals going to go? Who is going to offer Kyle Tucker 10 years, $400 million?
I can't see anybody.
I mean, look at his stats and tell me how it makes sense. If you go to baseballreference.com, yes, he has a 4.2 WAR. Whoop-de-doo. I'm so sick and tired of these freaking this analytic shit, what it does for the damn friggin' sport. Well, this guy has now it's it's not just OPS, it's OPS and something else. Now it's then their defense is like an OWA, and I'm like, what in the What you watch a guy, he catches the ball, he throws the ball, you don't really need all the it's like Marcus Simeon, the guy who hit 230 last year. There are some stats out there that is like, well, if this would have happened based off of his contact ratio, he would have hit like 295 to 300.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He hit 230. I mean, again, you look at Kyle Tucker last year. What was he? 23 home runs.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just not worth it.
No, I don't understand how he is worth it. Even a Cody Bellinger. Yeah, 22 home runs, 73 RBIs. All right, he had 25 stolen bases. Whoop-de-doo.
What's Bellinger looking for? Do you know, or does it say?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, he had the deal he signed with the Yankees had the opt out. So it was a 3-year deal. I'm not exactly sure how much, but I'm sure he thinks, oh well, hey, I did so much better.
If Kyle Tucker's worth $400 million, I'm worth at least $500.
I mean, he hit 29 home runs, and he hit 98 RBIs. He didn't steal as much, but he's 30. I mean, he won't be 31 until July. So, they're all right around the same age, 29, 30, 31, 32. They're all right there,
So we do have Dom in the house here. I saw his name.
Yeah.
What does he think of the Pete Alonso going to the Orioles? Curious to get his little words. I don't know if we really want to see what he's going to say, but if he's still here, be curious.
And then people are talking about Framber Valdez. Oh my gosh, my God, man, what a guy who could be an ace. He was 13-11 last year. He was 15-7 the year before that. He was 12-11 the year before that. So that's what we're calling an ace now. That's what we're calling an ace.
He has a positive record, so he's an ace.
His 162 game average is 16-10. That's an ace.
He's 6 games above 500. Come on now. None of them are worth what they're paying him, that's for sure. Even my boy Soda's not worth as much as he got.
No. Heck no. But it depends on how you look at it. People will say Ohtani, Ohtani's not no baseball player is worth, that $700 million and everything. That might be true, but supposedly between ticket sales and apparel and all the other kind of crap, they did over like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Last year. Pete is a money-hungry bum. The O's suck. Happy he got paid, and the Mets should have matched the offer. Okay, so then he's not a bum. He's only a bum because the Orioles signed him.
Right, exactly.
The Mets gave him $5 for 155, and he signed. He's not a bum anymore.
See, my question is looking up Sodas. He has an opt out in 2029.
Yep.
If you guys don't reach playoffs or World Series in that time, I wonder if he actually opts out at that point. Like, look, you guys didn't get there. You didn't build right around me. I'm out of here.
It's the one thing that I've been thinking about with this whole thing, from that standpoint. Okay, you got don't get me wrong. I'm going to look at mine. I mean, I have, I think, one Pete on-card autograph that I will save, but everything else, I mean, I don't need to keep anymore. And look, he wants to be there, or maybe he doesn't. Who knows? Maybe he just took the most money. Who knows what it is? It's going to be a hard division to play in, the American League. I mean, from that standpoint, but he has no opt-outs. It's a straight 5-year deal. No trade clause, no nothing. So it's a full-blown 5-year deal.
So if he doesn't perform, they can get rid of him.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway.
But the Soto thing, it really is interesting. And that was the one thing when I saw that contract that made me go ahead and go, you know, you have an opt-out after 5 years. People go, look, come on, man. What are the chances, that Juan Soto, would opt out, after, 5 years? It's a great question. I mean, that really, really is a great question.
Like I said, I think if you don't make the playoffs at least one of those years and maybe even make the World Series, even if you don't win, still made it, he sticks around. I think if you guys don't, I think he decides to opt out. And
the only thing about that is he will be, he's 27 right now. He'll be,
so they
his
say.
birthday's in October, so he'll be 31, 32. So I don't know if anybody would give him at that age, if anybody would give him a 10-year deal for the equivalent of the money that he is still owed. So it would. So I think the way the contract is, I think it's going to be hard for him to opt out if it's about the money.
Right.
If at that point it's like, hey man, I want to win. I look around and all those young guys that you decided to go ahead and not trade and bring in veterans, you're bringing them up and they're having a hard time handling New York, because the truth of the matter is this: you bring it, and this summer, the worst thing the Mets could do, to pull it back to present day, the worst thing they could do is try and sell the fans that, well, we let these guys go because we have these young guys down on the farm who are ready to come up. Those guys don't perform, they will be all over their asses. It'll be extremely, extremely mean, what he will do to them if they can't handle it, because the Met fans are going to say, no, you're not only replacing Pete Alonso, a 30-100 guy, you're replacing a fan favorite. You're replacing someone who was beloved by the fans. Very, very different. Very, very different than you're replacing a guy who was just okay, from that standpoint. But to your point, because, hey, he's sitting there and he has that opt-out window and he's looking around going, I'm still really the only superstar here. The guy over there, Francisco Lindor, he has 1 year left on his deal. He's 37 years old. So I think,
I think that's what he looked at in Washington. He's like, I'm kind of the only player here, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he already got his World Series ring, so he's,
That's why I was surprised he left. Well, he got traded. Why he wouldn't re-sign with? Don't get me wrong. Someone's going to lay 700. If you had a vision that in a few short years somebody's going to say, as a 26-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid, here's $765 million, right? You would have to have that vision of like why he wouldn't have stayed with San Diego with the guys that were there. But he got traded because he wouldn't sign. The Yankees didn't care. The Yankees gave him a shot, but even still, the Yankees with Aaron Judge, you had players there that you knew were not going to go anywhere, but you left. WWE 5-card box, 107. Get the hell out of here. 5 cards for $178.
I can't believe the price of archives this year.
For baseball?
Yeah.
197?
Yep.
Chrome 370. That's more than just bullshit.
Chrome, Chrome I can get at my LCS. It's $260, but that's still too much for a single autograph in a box.
Is 175 at Ginter? Is that still just for baseball, or did they come out with? Is WWE coming out with Ginter?
I think that's just for baseball because my LCS is at 159 still. But if you go to any like blowout and stuff like that, yeah, it's up there. And
yeah, I don't, I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous the prices that they're still like. I don't know where the money is in the hobby anymore.
No, because I bet you when Heritage High number comes out, it's going to be close to that price too.
Yeah. Did you see that friggin' that story on either Instagram or on X with the guy with the buyback?
No.
So a guy sent either 10 or 15 of the exact same Pokemon card to PSA. PSA graded every single one of them a 9.
Oh, wow.
Every one, a 9. So he's like, well, I might as well go ahead and see what is going on. So he looks into the PSA buyback program. And for a PSA 9, they will pay $35 for the card. See, I don't know if he did all of them. I know he did at least 3. So he takes 3 of them, has PSA buy them back and everything. And then he's looking around and he's seeing, and the cards go ahead and make it onto the market, I guess through PSAs or however. They're all now PSA 10s. They all got regraded and they turned into PSA 10s.
Ooh.
So you can imagine what the hell happened with
all feet coming in.
You could only imagine. I mean, the how the hell is this happening, so on and so forth. They worked something out, I think, where he gave him the money back, and then they gave him the cards and PSA 10s or anything. But people are like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" There's someone who paid attention.
The thing is, there, I think, comes down to, can you prove those 3 cards are the ones you sold them that they regraded? I'm sure others have sent those cards in.
They used the same cert number.
Oh, then yeah, you're screwed.
They had the exact.
Sue their asses. I wouldn't be doing no.
They had the exact same certification number.
I was stupid on their part.
Could you be fucking that much? How much dumber can you be?
At least give a different cert number, then you don't have to worry about it. I'll never send anything to PSA.
I mean, my gosh, and it's amazing. All of the PSA fanboys that are still out there, and cards still maintain that value, even though there is zero reason as to why they should. Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot give me any kind of good reasoning as to why, PSA 10 should be. Yeah. They admitted it, said the grades were changed after the review process. So they bought them back, then they reviewed them and go, oh, no, these should have been 10s. And they don't say anything right away to the guy. They don't say, hey, we made a mistake.
What would you?
I mean, it's just absolutely comical. Comical. And then you got friggin' Probstein, who on eBay, people complained about him on eBay. He opens up his own, website called Snipe with auctions, and there's all kinds of fucking problems back there. That was that whole shill bidding thing, right? That whole shill bidding thing goes ahead and gets brought to light. So he shuts down his website and he goes back to eBay, and people are bidding up his freaking cards like crazy. It's like, what is wrong with you people? Like, I just don't get it.
wonder what WWE product he was talking about.
Lockin, what WWE
Was going
is a
for
5-card
178.
box for $178? Oops. There we go.
Which we will talk about some WWE because we got the PLE coming up.
We do.
It's not a good one, but it's okay.
It is not.
Because I don't see. I see Finest, which is freaking $475 a box.
No. Whoops.
Bape. I have to look to see if I can find it somewhere. See, Cactus Jacks are $250 a box.
Bait? Did I mention Big Meat? You did. You did. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. But they do dumb shit like partner up with those scumbags at Backyard Right? Yes, they do.
So,
Yes, you did. Bait? I don't know what. I don't know. I just.
yeah.
To me, it's one of those. It's one of those things when you're. What you're looking at, and it does. It's one of those ones you go. This doesn't make sense.
I see. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
What is it?
It is. They have cards in there that are cartoony looking and regular cards, some autographs, 2 base parallel cards, 2 base cards, 2 base parallel, 1 baby Milo insert, which is the one that makes him look like a baby. So yeah, 5 cards.
Wow. $178 a box.
David Adams is 180.
Wow.
Yeah, I would never pay that. Well, wait, Walmart sells them for $149. No, I still wouldn't pay that for $5 grand. I don't think I've ever. The biggest I ever was.
With your luck.
There's Chuck. You can ask him about that.
Chuck, how do you feel about the White Sox getting the #1 draft pick in the baseball's draft next year? Are you stoked? Are you excited? Do you not even care?
Chuck's gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't care."
They had Harold Baines.
They'll screw it up.
You know, you'd be surprised. Like some of those teams, they wind up going with the guy who's most likely to sign.
Yeah.
Some of them that throws the whole friggin' draft off and shit.
How much longer is Lou Bob there for?
2 years. He had a club option for $20 million this year, and he has a club option for $20 million next year. He was the guy that the Mets were talking about for center field. They talked about Byron Buxton too, but supposedly Minnesota has shut down any kind of things. Minnesota, as of right now, is like, excuse me, we're not trading Buxton. We're not trading, Joe Ryan. Anthony Kay, man, he is still bouncing around, dummy. That's one of those. That's a guy that Dommy likes.
Yeah, he does.
I wonder if I can. I don't think I can show it. I have to email it to myself. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, baseball, the off season. They got what the meetings end when? Did the meetings end tomorrow or? They're still insisting on an all-star level trade package for him. Who?
I think for Lou Bob.
For Lou Bob? Yeah, I mean,
he hasn't performed enough to get that kind of a trade. I don't think
he doesn't. I mean, he had a decent second. He had before he got hurt. in the second half of the season when he came back from, I think, from like the All-Star game. He had a decent and a decent second half goal, and then he got hurt, which ended his season. But yeah, I mean, guys like him, guys like Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton might, Byron Buxton's one of those guys where you go, wow, when you look at his numbers that he puts up, but unfortunately, you have to say when healthy, and that's not a good thing. You have to add to a player. Well, when healthy, man, he's really good. Yeah, but how often is he healthy?
Yeah.
Blue Bob got hurt. What? No way. He's never.
Got a point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Reds were talking about look at maybe trading Hunter Green. A lot of it will be interesting as to some of these guys going on. I mean, obviously the big fish out there that people are always going to wonder about for the next few years is going to be Paul Skeens. What are the Pirates going to do with Paulie Skeens? I mean, he wins Rookie of the Year. He wins Cy Young in his second year. While he's playing for the Pirates and stuff, he's as tough as wet. That's Lou Bob for you. What's going to happen with him?
I think Ski's going to stick around for a couple more years at least there.
Well, they have control, right?
I think so,
yeah. But the thing is you can probably get more for him while he's under team control versus when he's getting ready to leave for free agency. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because a team might be willing to give you maybe some more stuff, get him. They know they have him for 2-3 years. He can get used to where the new team and so on and so forth, and you can potentially offer him a deal.
Yeah, because he's under primarily a 6-year pre-arbitration deal. He's not eligible for salary arbitration until 2026 season. So yeah,
When would he be a UFA?
They don't show it here. Let me check this one. Might say it. Wow. Well, 2030.
You use Spotrac?
Yeah. He's got 1, 2, 3 years of arbitration, and then 2030 he has UFA.
So I got 5 years. So to me, if you're going to start to look to trade him, you look to trade him in 3 years. This way you have a team would have at least 2 years of control, which I think would give you potentially a bigger haul.
I mean, if he keeps up with his, performance that he's been like, he'll get the money he wants, I'm sure. Maybe not with the Pirates, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers tried to go after him. Then
there's talk that there's a framework of a trade for Tariq Skubal.
Oh wow!
To the Dodgers.
I don't think Detroit will get rid of him.
Supposedly they are waiting. They're waiting for owner approval, and if Detroit owner can give approval to allow the trade, then the Dodgers want to be able to have him agree on like a 10-year, $350 million contract or something along those lines.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Skeens, I mean, what makes Skeens, if he keeps doing what he's doing with the Pirates and everything, again, you never know. you don't know what he will be like or anything like that if he goes to a big market team.
All right.
But I mean, you to me, he'll be 28 years old when he hits free agency. So I'll be 29, I guess, when he hits free agency. That's why I think if you're the Pirates, after, well, we might not have the 2027 season, but to me, after that 2027 season, or if it, after that, then you have 2 years left. That off season would be the season you would want to try and look, because I think you'd have the best shot of people giving him the most money they can. Yeah, it would be ridiculous, but yep, agreed. And they've done that kind of stuff before. But I read that the framework and prospect stuff and everything, supposedly all the players have been agreed upon. It's just waiting. But the two things that the stumbling block are the Tigers ownership giving the approval, and I don't know how they can do it. I'm not exactly sure, but I guess they're willing to take Scooble's word for it that he will agree to a long-term contract. Or maybe it's one of those things where the Dodgers tell Detroit, look, this is what we're willing to go ahead and pay him. Offer him, if you can offer him this deal, as an extension to start next year, it's an agreed framework. We'll do the trade, and this way, then they have him locked in. Correct.
All right, now what's just in? I hate Clemens. No, it's also really. All right, well, let's dive into some WWE real quick.
All right, hold on one quick second.
I got what the matches are.
Hold on, I got them. I don't know if this is going to work or not. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Well, Dom, I love you, buddy. That's why I haven't sent you any of his cards lately.
No. Remember Deer Man? That kid who used to show up in things?
Oh, yeah.
What a piece of crap he was.
He's
I don't even know if he's around or anything like that.
He's been in Even Stream a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's not very nice, Dom.
So,
here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the greatest of all time, never seen 17, gracing a WWE ring for the final time, the last real champion, John Cena. First and foremost, if we talk about Monday Night Raw and everything, there's some things that I think once the first round everybody was announced and they saw Gunther's name, I think it was inevitable. I don't know. He's saying that Ethan tossed him out.
Maybe he did.
I think it was inevitable that it was going to be Gunther. From that standpoint, don't understand what they're doing LA Knight, why they let LA Knight go ahead and get destroyed the way he was.
Yeah, what was that whole deal about it? Because he put on, that was a good match. I'll give him that. It was a very good match with LA and
it was a good match. It was a really good match and everything.
There were times I really thought they were going to give it to LA.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too.
Maybe it's a different name I saw then. It's possible.
And then the hooded man shows up again. There are people that were saying that this time it was Montez Ford. At Survivor Series, it was
Austin.
Austin Theory. So now it's like, man, what are we doing? A fucking El Grande, El Americano again, all over again? I mean, come on.
I mean, nobody 100% sure who it is, but there is talk of it really being Montez, possibly, because they're gonna break that team up. From what
you might as well. They don't use them. They're probably, they're one of the best tag teams out there, but they don't bother using them. So go right ahead. I don't know where it fits. I don't know how. To me, the thing when you look at it from the standpoint of is that
that's what I think too.
You can't do anything to break the tag team up without their going ahead and adding more speculation, right?
Right.
If you're trying to keep it a secret. From that standpoint.
Which, if you have different guys come out in the hood like that, I mean, it does kind of you're never going to know exactly who it is, and from what they're talking, they're going to keep it a secret for a while.
Yeah. And then, Jay has the crash out. But then he comes back with his brother and he says that they're going to be a tag team.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That didn't make sense either to me.
What in the hell are you doing?
The rest of Monday Night Raw sucked, but the whole thing of the Vision going after LA Knight didn't really make any sense. Unless they're trying to make something for down the road for him to go for the title against Braun Breaker.
Against Breaker? I'm not sure. I mean, I get it. Well, so rumors were that with the big splash and all that kind of stuff, that he's basically going to be written off until Royal Rumble. Now, I can understand the guy needed a vacation. You think about it. He is on TV a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I give he does work a lot. But
that's a month or two off, and
yeah, that's the one thing that I saw online was that the talk is that this takes him out. He'll join the Rumble. Now, does he win the Rumble and go on the main event WrestleMania? I mean, to me, that's a little bit on the crazy side.
But
I don't know.
Rademacher was at Raw. I wonder where he was sitting.
Oh wow. Yeah, the whole Jay thing makes zero sense now. I mean, it really does.
Seen them flip him to a heel.
He should have went all out nuts. Jimmy should have come down to the ring to try and cool him down, and he should have attacked Jimmy and literally beat the living shit out of Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like just Jimmy sprawled out, not being able to friggin' move.
I mean, maybe that's the thing they're thinking of that during the tag team run they'll do, but I don't know. So on this match here, I honestly think John's going to win.
All right, so we're not get there yet.
Oh, sorry, you got this one.
I don't understand these matches. I mean, like I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do.
It's what John wanted.
All right, so these are these considered matches, or are they exhibitions? So I'm assuming the titles are not going to be up on the line.
Mm-mm.
But you got an NXT guy in Javon Evans who is really, really good. You have this Leon Slater who's a TNA guy. So it's not like they're a natural tag team going up against the tag team champions.
Right.
So I don't understand. I just don't understand what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, because they were all there Monday night.
Yeah. So
I'll have to go back and look, walking to see if I see him.
Yeah, annoying is annoying. Evans is annoying the way he is. Yeah. I mean, he flies around, stuff like that. He's 21 years old. He flies around. I mean,
He's a high flyer, but
yeah.
But this one, I can't see them beating AJ and Dragon Lee here.
Yeah, it makes
I think
no
they'll put
sense.
up a decent match, maybe, but
But the funny thing is this, John. I don't care.
me neither.
That's the sad part.
Just
I
saying.
don't care. You know, um,
I don't care about that one either.
right. I mean, you're gonna have Bailey go ahead and do a job. Bailey's becoming a jobber. I mean,
Here,
is
it
that
would
what?
have been better to see like Sol Ruka go up against one of the women's champs.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't. Um, I just don't understand what this one again. This doesn't really go ahead and and make sense to me. Sol Ruka. I mean, I know one thing for sure, and because I know I'm friends who is really good friends with the family. Her father and him are like best friends and stuff. I mean, they when they were in my buddy used to live in California. They were in California. They hung out all the time and everything. Recently, he went on vacation to California and stayed at their house and stuff. Um, and he's saying that the WWE is very very high on her. They're very very high on her.
So she'll probably win this match.
But why are you going against Bailey?
I know. I'd rather see her go up against Jade and beat Jade. That would make me laugh.
Unless that's one of those ones where John Cena's like, "Hey, my last match, I'd like to see Bailey on it. I'd like to see Bailey on the card for my last match."
It could be.
Yeah,
But I think Soul's going to win this one.
yeah, I agree. This one is interesting. I was surprised that Ricky lost.
Yeah.
But this potentially has. I mean, this could be really good. This could be really, really good. I don't know if it will, but it could.
I think WWE wanted to get Oba on the main screen to see what type of reaction, how what he can do, especially going against Cody.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt in my mind, the fans are going to go crazy for it. But what are you trying to, again, what are you trying to prove here with these three undercard matches?
I think it's just to give them a chance to spotlight on the main stage there. I mean, I'm pretty sure Cody's going to win this and probably shake Oba's hand, saying good match. I don't know if Oba's going to be, if he'll take it or not, but I mean, it just.
Yeah. You're right. That's 100% true. That's what I've heard about Bailey. Bailey doesn't, Bailey's not chasing titles that much anymore. Mm-hmm. She's definitely looking to, enhance, she's becoming a talent enhancer.
Yeah.
From that standpoint. So you put Soul in the ring with somebody, Soul's big. This is huge. I mean, for these four, the guy from the Slater, Edward Evans, Soul, and Oba. This is huge for the four of them. Like they, guarantee you, they probably, they've never been at, never performed on an event like this before with this much, going on. The amount of people, the amount of eyeballs that are going to be on this, and so on and so forth.
I mean, maybe WWE is thinking, okay, well, we're going to give these guys a chance. If you perform well, we'll talk maybe a contract on the main roster. But I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I can think of possibly. And here we go.
And then you have this one. And, the one thing I just hope, my biggest hope was that John would win his last match. I thought out of anybody in WWE, he deserved to win his last match.
I'm pretty sure he's going to.
But if he doesn't, you can't make him quit. You can't make him tap out. You can't have him You can't have him tap out. You can't have him give up.
And it can't be a dirty win. It's got to be a clean win.
You know, if you put him in a sleeper and he never, you know, if you put him in a move and he passes out, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. That's what I'm hoping, that if Gunther's going to win, you know, that he doesn't make him, you know, that he doesn't make him tap. He doesn't make him quit. If he passes out, that's one thing. But that's the one. Don't. He doesn't deserve to go out that way.
Right. And I have heard some talk and some sites that I've been on that there is a possibility that if Cena wins, or maybe even if he loses, I'm not sure, that at some point afterwards, you're going to see The Rock come out and say, no, you can't quit. I still own your soul. You still have 1 or 2 more matches in you to go. There's been talks about that.
Man, that'd be ballsy. That would be ballsy, man.
I think it'd be awesome if they did it that way, because that would just prolong that issue.
Yeah.
But then you'd have to have that Cena Rock match at some point to end it. And Cena wins, and then
but how pissed off are you paying that money for those tickets, and then all of a sudden, sorry,
he's got 2 more.
Match. He's got one more.
1 more, 2 more. Who knows what it is? But there has been talk for that.
You know, New Year's Day, you and me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know. I mean, that would be.
If they did a New Year's Day, that'd be awesome. Like, all right, you want your soul back? New Year's Day, we're going at it. Winner take, you know, goes on. Like I said, that would be an awesome swerve.
It would be an unbelievable swerve. Like I said, all those people who are going to be scalping the shit out of those tickets for Saturday, and people are paying the friggin' money thinking, I was there for John Cena's last match.
Oh, shit. No, it wasn't.
Until it wasn't John Cena's last match.
They did that, I'd be amazed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see that happening, but that would definitely make for an interesting.
It would definitely be crazy. I mean, you can see something. I mean,
because you couldn't do that match that night because he's going to be the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Unless they just make it a squash match for The Rock getting beat real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be the only way, and I can't see The Rock doing that.
What if you go ahead and you have Gunther beat up John, then The Rock comes out and he does the whole thing. Gunther's pissed off because he wanted to go ahead and be the guy who retired Cena. He turns and then he beats the shit out of The Rock.
That'd be interesting. Or maybe Rock catches Gunther in the back, beats him up a little bit, but he's still able to go out to the ring. Rock comes out and gets knocked off the ring or something by Gunther. They didn't finish the match, and Gunther goes after him in the ring then.
Yeah, I just wonder.
They could do technically if they wanted to, but I don't see the swerve. Like, I mean, it's possible.
That would be.
Because with The Rock being off of any type of filming right now for the next 2 months, there is that possibility.
It would be, yeah. I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, you could tease it if Cena is dead against ever wrestling again. Right. You could tease it, you know, and Cena being like, "No, I told you I'm done. I don't care. You could have my soul. I'm not a wrestler anymore. It doesn't matter." Blah 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 blah. The problem you have, though, you know, so it becomes that's a tough one because you have that conversation at the end of the night. You would almost have to have that at the end of his speech.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have The Rock come out beforehand.
No, you'd have to have it to where he's like has everybody come out and say congratulations to him, and then the last person that comes out would be The Rock.
he does the customary, right? He takes his sneakers off, he puts them in the center of the ring, he walks to the ropes, and as soon as his hand hits that top rope, boom, ba-da-dum, boom, you hear the rock music. You know, yeah.
That would definitely make it interesting. That's for sure. Even like you said, even if they just tease like a possible match, and The Rock comes out like that and ends up saying, like shaking his hand, congratulations on a career. That would be also an interesting sport. Like him coming out as the final boss, but then goes in and shakes, sees his hand, and gives him a hug and stuff like that. That could also be a way they do it.
And then just do a tease. They shake hands, so on and so forth. Rock starts to turn around and leave the ring, and he turns around and he goes, "But I still own your soul." And then he continues walking off. I don't know what it does. It doesn't do it. It's like the ever living cliffhanger.
I mean, that would be like you said. Yeah, it would be. It would just be a thing of, all right, we're going to get that match down the road, like a one-off match at some point. It'll be like talking about the Roman Rock match. That will never happen. I don't see it.
Yeah.
But all those are possibilities. It'd be interesting to watch. Maybe McMahon comes back and says goodbye to John too.
Yeah, I think that's going to be. So let's see. I'm just curious about something. So
with having only 4 matches, that gives you that opportunity to have that 30 minutes at the end for John.
Yep. So on StubHub right now, I'm using StubHub. You'll say 2 tickets. That's fine.
You got to pick the nosebleeds.
There's still some, there's like row, section 4, row F. $1,000 each, but it doesn't say like how many are available.
There's something on Facebook.
Roman versus Owens.
You're going to get Roman versus Cody again. I see that happening. But there's some guy on my Facebook page that said he bought ringside seats to the PLE in DC across from the cameras, front row, $7,500 a seat.
Now, I imagine his reaction
if the swerve happens.
If the swerve happens.
Oh, he's gonna be so pissed. What the? I paid $7,500 for these tickets.
You would have to be pissed. You literally you would have to be so freaking mad. It wouldn't be. You'd have to lose your shit.
I would love to see the whole crowd's reaction if that did happen, because they're all going to be like wide-eyed and like, what the fuck just happened?
Well, they're gonna. See, I tell you, there's one. Oh wow! So somebody is willing to sell. Holy crap! Section 4, row A, seat 1. So it's basically the corner. Per ticket, 1 floor seating. It is. You can buy it right now on Ticketmaster. $89,250.
That's a drop in the bucket for you, Mike.
If you want to be on the camera side, I would rather sit over there. Section 5, row A, seat number 2. There's only one available. $49,028.
So you mortgage both places, and there you go.
Well, no, you just take the one seat over there. I mean, you pay $40,000 less, and you're right in the front row. You can be on camera.
I would love to sit there and try to figure those seats to see if anybody actually sits in it.
Well, this one is real simple. It's literally when you're going to be looking at the ring at the camera, it'll be the first row, not the last seat, the one just before it. And the other one will be on the ring announcer side, depending on where they put the I don't know if they're going to have a Spanish announcers table, but if they don't, it'll be the person that is basically on the corner where the ring announcers are.
I can't say. I can't. Why would you pay that much money? I mean, unless you're getting backstage to meet all the wrestlers and get all their autographs, yeah, you get the seat, whatever. Still,
There you go, right there.
that's just wrong.
That seat right there, $89,000.
Why? And that's not including all the fees that Ticketmaster is going to throw in on you.
No. That's 89,000 per ticket. Price. No, it says price includes fees before taxes, if applicable.
Also, I get charged taxes on that. No, thank you.
Then this one right here, that's another one. So those are like the two best seats that are available.
Okay, so real quick, you're there. The one that's 89,000. You go 2 rows back to that second seat in. How much is that one?
This one, it'll cost you $2,300.
To sit there,
right? And just stand the hell up.
Yeah, you could probably move over to the wall there and still see, but
or over here, $2,400. You and your buddy could go. You and Dami could go.
I'm sorry, I can't afford that much money right now. Wish I could.
Who drives an Infinity?
I think he's talking to you.
No, I drive a Jeep.
You sell the Jeep, you can get that $49,000 ticket.
Hell no.
What do the high up seats go for? Nosebleeds.
How high do you want to go?
All the way to the top, as top as we can go.
Opposite of the ring. Nah, that's not far enough away. Here we go, right here. Look at this. Right up here. Look where you are in relationship to the ring.
You're watching the Tron at that point.
$473.
God.
You had the last flipping row.
Hell no.
Or over here. $454.
Why? When it comes out that it's not his last match, you're all going to be pissed.
Oh, wow. You could even be, holy crap, you could be up over here. Oh, look at this front row where the seats come up. $500.
Why? Because you have an aisle seat?
$500 to watch TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what you're doing. You're watching the big ass screen that's somewhere around this arena.
Yeah.
Because the guys, because
they're gonna be like that big.
Right, they're gonna be this big, stuff like that. You
want binoculars.
You might as well bring binoculars. That'd be your best bet.
Wow, that is ridiculous. And if they do that swerve where it's not his last match, oh Lord. I mean, if I paid $60 the seat way up that high and it wasn't his last match, not a big deal to me. But if I'm spending $500, that better be his last match.
Yeah, it looks like that final row of seats, anywhere from 450. There are some final row seats just below the press box that are $675.
Dear God, why?
Like I just don't understand. Like I don't see. And to imagine, like I would probably piss myself laughing about all those people who spent that kind of money if that was a massive swerve.
So there are two last silver, I guess, priority pass tickets. They're upper level seating. You get a John Cena gifting, a pre-show hospitality with a superstar appearance, the priority entrance, and the lanyard. $750 a person.
Yeah, but you get an autograph of a superstar.
That's what it looks like. You get,
Yeah,
I mean, you get hospital, you get to eat with them, but I'm sure you
so
get that
so
too.
so you get to sit with Ivar from the War Raiders.
What do you mean, Ibar? You're sitting with not Chad Gable, one of his little boys.
You're sitting with one of the Creed brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're lucky it'll be one of the NXT guys. I'm sure.
It's crazy,
They don't show me how much it is. I wish they did.
and it's 4 freaking matches.
Because they had a gold one and a champion one.
They're
And
saying
then-
Royal. They're saying Royal Rumble in January is going to be 4 matches.
So are they going back down to 4 matches then?
That's what I heard. As of right now, they're talking about Royal Rumble being 4 matches: Men's Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble, and then 2 others.
Now, this Monday, Raw's coming to Hershey. I wonder how much tickets are there. More than I want to pay, I'm sure. All the front rows are gone, of course.
Hershey can't. Well,
So second row across from the cameras, there's 1 seat. Come on, pointer. $493.
for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
For Monday Night Raw. And you maybe get to see the Usos come out and yeet for 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's where he would come down, usually right over here.
Yeah, usually they come down the right side of the camera view.
Well, those aren't bad. You could get those for $145.
You'd be right on the edge.
Nah, you're 2 seats in, but I mean, you push your way to it if you wanted to. I'm just saying because you know people do that. I haven't been to Hershey in a while. Last time I was there is when the Shield was still big. And let's see. I know they're coming to Wilkes-Barre too. I wonder how much that one's going to be.
Yep.
That's a Friday night SmackDown, though. Saudi Arabia, Royal Rumble.
This is where it sucks that they're not doing those house shows that they do on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, maybe even a Thursday. You know, they're passing from one town to another, you know, and go ahead and do a house show somewhere where, you know, inexpensive, you know, build up people to go ahead and come to it and everything.
All right, let's see. Here we go. That's Friday night. This Friday night. There's a lot of tickets left for this. Holy crap. And yeah, front row right behind the ring announcers for the wonderful price of $514. Or I can go ring or camera side, ring side, not facing the cameras for $514. So it's not bad, really. I'm still not going, but you know. Because I know when I went back in the day to Hershey, I think I got 3 tickets.
Oh, Beast, check that out.
Yeah, and he doesn't come to visit me. He can go fuck himself. Now maybe I will send him a bunch of Clemens cards for that one. He could have at least texted me and said, "Hey, I'm in, Wilkes-Barre. I might have went up. We could have went to lunch or something." Whatever. Now, I think I paid for the 3 tickets. I think it was like $180 for the 3 tickets, and we were 3 rows behind the announcers and right on, like 3 seats in from where they, what do you call it, would come down the Shield when they come down the stairs.
Yeah.
It was still a stay. You could have said, "Hey." I mean, were you only there for the day or for the whole weekend?
Could have met for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Could have given you all your cards. I wouldn't have to ship them to you. I'm telling you. I do want to get together. We all got to get together one of these days. Find a way of doing it. When you move to North Carolina, it makes you a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens Saturday. Some reason I think John's going to win. I think that's just what's going to happen here. I can't see him going out on a loss. I just can't.
But then why let it be Gunther? Why
Just to prove that Gunther can't
let it be an LA night?
I was hoping for, because I think it would have been a better match. 6 boxes of cards.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that gets me. Then, you can't have it. This is the part that sucks, is you can't have, in a way, you can't have John go out there and beat Gunther.
Why not?
Because I think it hurts Gunther unless you're trying to turn him even into more of a heel. But the idea would be, if something like that happens, he'd have to kind of turn on him. But then now you're looking for John to go ahead and give a speech at the end of the night, a going away speech. And it'll be interesting to see how much time they give him. Or if they do something.
If John beats him and Gunther turns, that could be where The Rock comes out as well, or somebody else comes out to stop it. But I think it's just to prove that Gunther he's not going to retire 2 people. And I don't see John going out on a loss. I just don't. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Friday night's going to suck. Friday night SmackDown, I can guarantee that. Although there's talk of Randy Orton coming back, and I don't know why. Why? I mean, how are you going to have him come back? You're going to have him come back as a heel? And then you have Roman and him going after Cody? I don't know.
I just don't. I just don't get the idea of Randy being a heel. I'm sorry, I don't really.
He's got so much hype as a good guy. Why would you flip him?
Yeah, but not only that, I mean, are you really going to put him in a championship battle to have him go ahead and win another title? I mean, why would anybody want to see a Randy Orton reign? How long are you going to make it for? 30 days?
And you could do that. And that gives him 15. Now he's 2 away from John. I can't see him tying John or overtaking him, but God only knows what WWE has planned for us.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why when you think about it, him getting another title run doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't for him. No.
But again, you could do the same thing you did with John. Hey, I'm going to retire this year. They give him another, short run with a belt. I mean, that would be different. They did it with John for a reason.
Right.
I think they did it for John because the truth is, I think, I think it was to go ahead and get Flair's name out of the thing of always saying, hey, that they're tied.
Right.
From that standpoint.
I mean, but if he does really retire here, what does WWE really have? Who's carrying the company? Is it Cody?
Yeah.
Because Punk's not going to carry it, that's for sure.
It's Cody and Punk.
And that's going to
be it'll be Breaker. So it'll be Cody and it'll be Breaker.
Yeah, I think they're honestly, and this is just mine, I think they're putting the belt on Breaker way too soon. I think they need to give him a little more time, build him up really good, and then do it. But I don't know. And I think you're going to see the mask guy show up during that match as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they. Again, that whole thing. Like, I don't get that part. Like, what does it have to do with anything?
Yeah.
You know, okay, you come in and you did it to Punk, all right, and you helped the Vision win, but then you did it to L.A. Knight.
And Ray.
Oh no, he did it to Ray, not L.A. Knight, right?
He did to both of them.
That's right. That's right. He did one of them. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, so again, and then I mean, obviously, Ray got beat up by Logan Paul, then LA Knight got beat up by Braun and Bronson, and they got beat up by Bronson and LA and Paul again. I
Yeah.
just don't understand what I don't understand what it's doing.
And it seems to me like they're building up Paul for a run for something, Logan Paul for something. And I don't know what they would put him in.
God, I hope not.
I can't see him wearing a title at any point anytime soon, at least championship. But because he's had the U.S. and Intercontinental both, or just the
I can't
U.S.
see him taking the IC off of Dom anytime soon.
Not two heels. No, I can't see that.
I can't see them going ahead and uh, taking the U.S. title off of Dragunov too soon.
No.
So I mean, the only other, so I mean, then you have your two world titles. I mean, you're
I
gonna have,
mean, does he
and
do a tag match that way and get him?
if you have Breaker go ahead and take the other one, if he's staying with Division, doesn't he have to stay on Monday Night Raw? He
I
can't
think
go ahead and
so.
jump over to SmackDown and take it from Cody.
Right. I mean, they could have him and Bronson Reed go as a tag team to take the titles there, possibly.
Go against the Usos eventually, maybe.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
But just the way he's been on TV a lot and a lot of mouthing off, I think they're just trying to push Logan for some reason.
it's amazing they're trying to push somebody that people can't stand.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, everybody's behind Breaker. That's a given just because of his dad.
And he's really good in the ring. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Logan Paul is good in the ring also.
Right.
I just think there are too many, I, I just, to me, it's the jumping of the line part that I don't like. And I understand, it's like, oh, he gets to jump the line because he has a big following and everything. But the funny thing is when you look at some of the things he does, it's, the jumping around here, the jumping off of this, that, the other thing. Javon Evans does that.
Yeah.
Javon Evans is one of those fly around type guys. So again, what are you doing? What are you trying to do to me?
Like a
As
Javon Evans and Logan Paul match would have been interesting to watch. That almost would have been like a Ricochet and Logan Paul match.
Yeah,
Would have been good.
Mhm.
I just don't get what they're trying to do. Logan is terrible. He's a good ring person. Mike Wise, he's but I don't see.
Well, there had to be some kind of doubts with him because you wouldn't put him with Heyman if you thought he could handle everything on his own.
True. Think about. I mean, I know it's a far fetched idea that Seth is the guy or ends up being the guy that they show in the mask, but it kind of makes sense to a point because he'd want his belt back from CM Punk, especially the hatred they have for one another, supposedly. But that wouldn't be until next year. So they're going to keep this masked man going that long? I don't think they can.
Unless if you play it off as being Seth, I don't know if he would be ready in January, but he comes back and everybody thinks this guy's going to stomp CM Punk, but he stomps Breaker. cost Breaker the title, and then the mask comes off, and it's Seth Rollins.
That would be interesting. Well, it could be because I'm looking at an update now as of early December. He's out of his brace, and he's targeting a return around WrestleMania, potentially even earlier. Wow. He's aiming to lock in a serious return on February 26th, possibly. Wow. But yeah, there is that possibility. That would be an interesting turn too. If he goes this like he's gonna stomp, like both wrestlers are down and getting up to their all fours. He looks at CM Punk and then turns and does it to Braun. Punk wins, then you can set up a WrestleMania for Seth and CM Punk.
And a revenge tour.
But he's still not part of the vision anymore.
Right.
Now Breaker is, which one of the guys was his dad?
Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner, not Big Papa Pump.
No, it's his. No, but I think he has a son. There's another one that works out a lot with Braun, and he says that he's another one who is unbelievable.
Anything like his dad. Although I think a lot of that was steroids in him, but whatever. Because he did not age well at all. I used to love watching him come out, though. And just do the whole arm kiss thing.
Yep.
It was fun to watch then.
He joined the wow. His name is Bronson.
What the hell?
Bronson Recksteiner, professional wrestler, former football player on the name Braun Breaker, born in Woodstock, Georgia, played high school football, briefly joined the Baltimore Ravens as an undrafted free agent fullback.
Wow.
Is the son of Rick Steiner, nephew of Scott Steiner.
You said Scott Steiner has a brother or a son?
I believe Scott Steiner. Yeah. He has two kids, and I think I thought there was something about one of his one of his kids being what do you call it? I thought one of his kids. I forgot what his name is.
Brock Rechtensteiner.
Who?
Well, no. Why? I'm looking at it. Scott Steiner's son is Brock Rechsteiner, a promising professional in wrestling NXT who is following the footsteps of his father, Uncle Rick. The Steiner brothers, though Brock is actually Scott's nephew, and Rick's son, as Scott is his uncle. What the hell? That's Braun's name.
Yeah, no. Brock plays football for Jacksonville and is a WWE NIL prospect. Yeah, it's Brock. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Brock, Green. Holy cow. Yeah, Brock Rechsteiner is that's him. Yep. As Dami throws it out there. And they work out together, and Braun has said that he thinks his cousin could be better than him.
Maybe Scott's son is another genetic freak.
Might be.
Holla if you hear me.
Yeah, my freaks out there.
That boy was built. Like I said, I know most of it was steroids, I'm sure, but his arms.
So, Marcus Bagwell went to the same high school as my kids did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so did Xavier Woods.
Obviously, before your kids or after your
Yeah.
kids? Yeah.
All before. And, Marcus, I believe, played football. I'm not sure, but I think he did. And I think they're there. But I would say, I don't know what year it is. I'd have to look up the date. But they actually put on a show in a gym. And Marcus and Scott Steiner, were the main event tag team against two other guys. But the what the hell's his name? The guy who was with Carl Anderson.
Yeah, I can't put his name. I can't put the name to it.
But he was there. Mike got to meet him. So we were good friends with a couple of the football players, and they saw Mike and I there and everything. And one of them came up. They were acting as like security. So he came up, saw us sitting in the stands, and it's a kid. He had come over to our house a lot of times, stuff like that. Knew the kids, hung out in the with Nicole and Jennifer and their friends and everything. And he was like, Mikey, come on. So he took him actually backstage, and Mike got to meet all the wrestlers and stuff. But it was pretty cool, final match, and they get the football coach in there, and the football coach does a couple of punches and so and stuff like that and everything. But yeah, that was like a fundraiser for the football team.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That is awesome because you don't see that too often.
No, that's what I mean. That little independent stuff or those things like that, where they're able to go ahead and help out schools and stuff. And to me, I mean, that would be like a great thing you could do for the house shows, man. Do them in smaller arenas and in areas that don't get that kind of traffic. You can draw people there. And donate a bunch of the money, use it as fun, let it be fundraisers.
Right.
I understand, it's not like it was, like when Cena, right? When he was, in his prime, rock and roll, doing all his stuff and everything. He wrestled 250 years a night. I mean, 250 nights a year.
That's interesting setup there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so you can understand why a lot of these old time guys, having a hard time, and you can maybe understand why they've changed, the theory and everything. But you could still, throw one house show in a month. Again, use it as a fundraiser in certain areas and stuff like that. Like, like you go to Texas where those floods were and shit, right? And you do a fundraiser and you donate money to the flood relief. And you put on a little house show.
I mean, and you could do that really in any city. You could say, hey, they're coming to Philly and then going to Pittsburgh. In between, there's a day or two that they're going to be off. Let's do a house show somewhere here and say we're going to donate all the proceeds to the flood victims or hurricane victims, any of that kind of stuff that they can do. You don't have to put an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Because that's really the thing that is affecting a lot of the newer wrestlers and why they don't. I think why you're seeing, a number of botches. I mean, you see them all the time.
Oh, big time.
I mean, it's like almost. It's.
I've seen a lot more in the ladies too.
A lot more with the ladies and a lot more with the younger guys. And I don't even want to say the younger guys. I mean, Jey Uso. He seems to screw something up every single time he gets in the ring. It might not. Sometimes it's subtle, but it's even like when he does sometimes his dive outs, he still catches his damn foot. It's like, dude, how do you still freaking catch your damn foot on freaking the middle rope? You're diving through. Get your freaking legs up, you dumbass.
Yeah.
And like I said to me, that's the thing, And again, it might not help him, but it might help a lot of these other younger people, younger wrestlers and stuff. I mean, I'm very happy for Sol Ruka, but I mean, she hasn't been wrestling for that long. She's one of these NIL. I remember my buddy Crowd. I think she's one. I think she's a gymnast, or is she an extreme athlete? I don't know, one of those types of things. But she was never a wrestler until she signed her NIL deal. And like you look at like a lot of these young ladies, I think they just talked about how they signed. There's like I think a girl out of Nebraska. I think she's a gymnast, like one of the top gymnasts in college. Not a wrestler, but the NIL, the WWE signed her to an NIL deal.
It's kind of like going back to the days of the Divas era and stuff like that. You're just picking people off the street basically, and you get a contract because you won.
I mean, they're picking these girls, they're athletes and stuff, so at least they're not going ahead and just seeing a gorgeous woman as a waitress and go, hey, where was the WWE? You want to go ahead, and come wrestle and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least they're not doing that stuff. At least these people have, have athletic skill. But you're going to take a Sol Ruka who is probably doing this, maybe 2 years? It's a pretty damn big stage that she's going on.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a very big stage.
Yeah, I just don't see how WWE is going to survive. I mean, they're going to survive because of who they are, but I mean, I could see one day AEW being the big one, way down the road. But
well, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. Excuse me. I think it'll be interesting when TKO is tired of them.
Yeah.
When ESPN goes, yo,
it ain't working out.
This deal ain't working out the way we thought it was.
Yeah.
We paid you a shit ton of money. When Netflix comes back and goes, hey, we paid you a lot of money here. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Why are our numbers so far down?
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. It'll be a matter of time. They'll have to figure it out. They'll have to figure out what they're going to do. And go from there. I mean, I still think, in my own opinion, the better play to get more eyes on your product is to go back to the WWE network model, because you don't need ESPN.
No.
You don't need Netflix. You don't need the US. You don't need any of that.
Take it all back to there. Charge $20 a month.
Yeah.
There you go.
$20 a month, you get everything. Their subscription, because they can't be, if ESPN is charging $30 a month for unlimited, which is for everything, they're not giving $20 a month, $20 of that to WWE.
No, probably maybe 10, maybe 10.
Well,
yeah.
Anywho,
I'll watch Friday night, see what happens, and then see if they add a match from there. I doubt it. I think they're going to keep it to the 4.
No, I think where we are, if they were going to announce anything, I think would have already have done it, because obviously, other than John and Gunther, they're trying to give an NXT person a shot. So
like a pat on the back to them.
Yeah.
See how you do.
Yeah.
If you do good, we might sign you.
Yeah. You may move to the big roster.
And then we're just going to crush you because we don't have room to do anything with you.
Yeah, then you won't be on TV. You won't be doing a lot of stuff for everything. You won't be,
Exactly.
I mean, you bring somebody that's, no. We've talked about it before. I don't understand, the people that like if you bring up an Obafemi, you're telling me that if you bring an Obafemi up off of the NXT roster, if you're happy where you are with your mid card guys, so then where do so now you're putting Obafemi in a series of matches with Cody Rhodes? You're bypassing a lot of fucking people, who deserve that shot.
Yeah.
You pick Obafemi over a Roman Reigns. People may not want to see it, but they're still going to watch it because the aura, what happens when when that guy, as soon as the hits, so we'll see, man.
So I'm looking up Fatu here. See when he's due back. He's on the road to recovery, possibly back within weeks, but more than likely next year, which is weeks away anyway, so it makes sense. And what they're going to do with him, who knows? He was on a big push there for a while.
Yeah, I mean he's another one, right?
I mean, I know he left due to a dental issue, but I mean, how long does that take to heal from? I mean, what did you have done? I mean, that would take you this long to heal.
To me, you would have to go ahead and have to have had a friggin'. You would have to have jaw. You would have to have jaw problems.
That's what that's the only I think it was maybe a jaw issue, something. But what's up, Kenny?
Hey, Kenny, what's happening?
Yeah, just see what happens on Saturday. I know I'll watch it and go from there.
Yep,
I'll be on Peacock. And I still don't understand why you picked the Giants to beat my Redskins. It's not going to happen.
because Daniels is out. That's the only reason
What
why.
about Mariota?
If Daniel, I don't think Mariota is going to go ahead and beat him.
But who does? And I know this is the wrong time to get in this debate, but who does the
Good
Giants have? They're without Scadaboo. They're without Neighbors. They don't have any offense.
They got Jackson. They got Jackson Dart, man.
Okay, we have Mariota that can match him. I mean, I'd like to see Jaden and him go at it, but I mean, I just think sitting Jaden is the best thing to do.
Right.
And we have better receivers. We have our receiving quarterback. I mean, we lost Zach Ertz. That was nasty looking when I saw the replay of that.
Yeah.
That should have been a clipping all the way, but of course not.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you everybody for showing up.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Catch you later.
Peace.
Peace.